Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over my Deino Community Day results and my thoughts on how it was. Was it good? I'm going to rate it, tell you how I feel. And folks, we were also able to get a 100% IV Deino, and it has a pretty significant meaning, or at least where I got it. Pretty awesome stuff. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. So before I even left my neighborhood, my Go Plus caught two decent IV Hydreigans. So I really can't complain. I really didn't tap on too many, but then again, I was letting my Go Plus do most of the work while I was just out here. Well, I tapped on quite a few, actually. What happened was I went out grinding pretty hard before I did go live, and then I did go live for a little bit. I ended it, and I didn't even realize I ended my live stream right as Community Day did end, so it was perfect timing. Now let's talk about this. There was a ton of Zweilous spawning in the wild, and I absolutely loved it. I did. I didn't care that they couldn't be shiny. It didn't. It was no problem at all. And take a look at that. So I did catch it in a baseball field where I have been submitting some stops. So hopefully we can get those soon. My dad has been taking me there ever since I was little. I've been taking my son, and now I take Athena there. So, I mean, pretty awesome. Hydreigon is a cool Pokemon, and I do have my thoughts on. We're going to be taking a look at what it does do in the Great League, so make sure you have notifications on, not in this video. It is going to cost quite a bit to completely max it out. Don't know if I want to do that. As you can see, I'm barely over 10 million Stardust after a lot of investments for a few other Hydreigons as well as Zweilous, because that's also going to be something to consider, is the Zweilous in the Great League, because it does perform amazing. So after we did transfer those Pokemon there, I want you to take a look at my incense. I have that thing going for 17 hours, so you got to just make sure you're stacked up on those. I do take advantage of the 3-hour incense, so after Community Day, it just goes and goes. And if my Go Plus turns off, no big deal. I'll turn it on, and it is what it is. I wish we were able to select multiple star pieces. That's kind of annoying. So take a look at the shinies here. We got a Rockruff, folks, on stream. We got a shiny Mewtwo on stream. It was absolutely amazing, and I was so happy, not because I actually got those shinies, but because we were actually able to see it together in the live stream. That was just amazing. So take a look here. We have 12 shinies total. That's how much I caught. Now I'm also going to tell you this. I did go out to do the raids, and we're going to talk about that Zweilous raid bullcrap. Why did they make it so damn difficult? What was the point of that? So taking a look at the IVs here, we actually are going to be evolving our highest combat powers, so we can potentially trade these, because this is something that you maybe would want to trade somebody for if you were lucky or something like that. So I will go ahead and make a couple of those. So let's go ahead and talk about the Zweilous raids, and we're actually going to hop into one. I'm going to try to solo it without cloudy weather. I have a Shadow Gardevoir, 2 powered up Shadow Grambles, and then Shadow level 50 Togekiss, and then a powered up regular Gardevoir. So I have the power to do it, but it was just not possible. So my question is, why did they make it difficult, and why did they make it so that you cannot solo it if you had the power to do so? They basically made it a tier 5 raid with a tier 4 timer. Tier 3 timer. Why? But we'll see some footage of that here in just a moment. So we are going to make these. Like I said, just going to be making a couple of these so we do have them on deck. I don't typically do this anymore because I end up just holding on to them forever. What I'm talking about is just making extra shiny Community Day Pokemon so I could potentially trade them if they're really good. But it's not like it used to be. I don't hang out with people anymore, so I don't really have the opportunity to do these trades or, you know, all that stuff. But I will say this. When I'm in Vegas, I'm going to be dropping lures. If you run into me, feel free to say hi and ask if you want to add me to your friends list. No problem at all. And I also do have a PokeAK pin to hand you if you want one of those. So it's gonna be good times. As far as my good ranked Zweilous and Hydreigons, as you can see, I do have them kind of marked here. I did have a rank 1 Hydreigon for Great League, but unfortunately the combat power was just going to go over. It was too high for the Great League, and it's not the same for the Ultra League for the IV, so unfortunately it was a bust, but I still have some pretty decently IV'd ones for each league, so we're looking pretty good there. Something else that you could have potentially done was equip the Pancham so you can catch the 32 dark types. That requires you to evolve it, so you're going to be all set there. I did make one, and I did not go and hard grind after Community Day. Like I said, I went out there and I did do a couple of raids to test out the Zweilous just to see how it was. If I was able to actually solo it, Niantic would have had more money from me. I would have went out there. I would have done some more raids. I would have had a lot of fun, put a nice long video together, testing it out with different Pokemon and see what we can do. But they wanted to make it so difficult so that even people who are by themselves are not even able to do so. They had to invite people. But here's the kicker, folks. You can invite people, but they cannot freaking join. It's like they were intentionally trying to damper the whole experience. So I made this investment. It's no big deal. It is a charm user, and it is going to be good. Shadow Gramble, it does still have frustration, but it doesn't really matter because we are able to get the other move that we do need. That's just what we do over here. Like I said, sometimes we just need that Stardust on deck in case we need to go to war, and this is one of those situations where we're kind of going to sort of a mini war here. All right, so taking a look at this Zweilous, let's hop into it and see what we got. Now, folks, let me tell you, I was excited. I was stoked to do this. I put on Doom music. My son was in the car on his Switch playing Doom. We're all just all amped up like, yeah, let's go. And then I just discovered this. So let's see what we discovered together. So I'm in here with my Shadow Gardevoir like, yeah. I'm like looking at the damage, looking at the timer like, this is not, there's some sort of an error going on here. This is a little bit ridiculous. So yeah, you're not going to be able to solo it. You need cloudy weather. I had sunny weather, and that was the thing. But that doesn't make it like, you know, we still have millions of Stardust invested in this team here. It's millions, okay? A lot of dust, a lot of XL candies, so it's going crazy, right? So it's still not possible. We have the team that you need to complete this, but we needed the cloudy weather. Now, is this cool? Is this something normal? Is this okay? What do you think? No, I think this is absolute nonsense. The community day was great, and I know people didn't like the Zweilous spawning, but that was yielding you more candies. They couldn't be shiny. Okay, no big deal. But this right here is a little bit annoying. Say you're just playing by yourself. You have nobody in your area. Okay, well, remote raid. Well, you can't even invite people. Well, you can, but they can't join. What is up with that? That's like I don't know. It's like quite intentional to discourage a player. So we're going up against a Dragon Pulse here. This is going to be our best shot, basically. Ain't happening. Still ain't happening. Okay. So I just wanted to bring you this information here. If they do this nonsense again to, this is something 4 times weak to charm. If there was any time to do it, it would have been now. So if they do this again, you're not going to be able to solo it unless they make it easier. And it's not happening because they have included a new egg. Epic egg. That's what this is going to be. So we're going to probably see a lot more of this nonsense, and they're not going to be as easy. This one right here, 4 times weak to charm. So you're not going to be seeing those things in the future. You're going to see 2 times weakness, and that's it. It's going to be a lot more difficult. So you're going to need even more people than you did have today. Now, they were spawning around the Pokus or the gyms. That's for sure. They were definitely spawning, and I could have went out there and grinded hard for sure and went out and met people or whatever, but I just simply didn't have that time. I had to get home. I had to do my editing. With my son, I don't want to sit in the car all day, plus gas. Right? I'm not trying to do all that. Everything spread out in Alaska ain't happening. If we lived in a cluster city, sure, I'll get on foot, boots on the ground, let's get to the grind, for sure, jungle style. But it ain't happening until we are able to have more stops submitted. Like, we're submitting them, but they're not being voted on. It's like Niantic's telling us, get out and play. There's nothing to get out and play with until you allow more stops in our area, more gyms. Why am I showing this? This is just an example of I would say, thousands of people sitting in the lobby hoping somebody would join. Same case for me. I was sitting in the mall, crowded area. Nobody gave a damn about this, not even close. Not like you really needed to do it, but it kind of breaks away from the whole fun streak. Just kind of comes to a halt right at this point here. And with that said, shout out to all my lone wolves out there. Trust me, I know how it goes. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on because you do not want to miss my next videos. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good community day and take care.